Welcome to Mysteries to Die For, and this toe tag. I am TG Wolff, and I'm here with Jack, my piano player and producer. This is normally a podcast where we combine storytelling with original music to put you at the heart of a mystery. Today is a bonus episode that, as you all know, we call a toe tag. It's the first chapter from a fresh release in the mystery, crime, and thriller genre. And today's featured release is Who Killed Won the Gun by Gigi Little. All right, today we are going to do the prologue, and we're going to do about half of the first chapter because it is very long, but we'll go up to a scene break so that you get the feel and the rhythm of the story. Prologue. At 12 midnight on the 11th of the month, as the tower bells chime and the moon reflects 10,000 moons in the 10,000 windows of the city, chasing shadows across 9 dark storefronts along the square, some certain moonbeam banks an 8-point ricochet and snaps a 7-second beeline to the 6-story building on 5th Street, where it shoots through a 4-by-3-foot ground-level window of 2-layer glass, straight to the bottom floor, where one wide circle of blood is spreading out around the body of one man. Won the gun. He has 1 minute to live. Chapter 1. The bells are still chiming as he opens his eyes, but now he is standing. This is strange. Strange enough that the walls to his left and right grab his ears and give a twist, trying to throw him back down onto the floor. Won the gun shuts his eyes and tries to steady himself, listens to another strike of the bell, opens his eyes. The room stops spinning. She's standing in front of him. This is strange, too, as she certainly wasn't here a moment ago. Such a look on her face. The eyes, the color and size of oceans. Too, the true blue. He doesn't understand the light in the room. It's bright as day, even as the midnight bells ring. He doesn't understand the room. This is not the basement. The troubled look on his assistant's face. She looks the way he feels. He sputters out the only thing he can think to say. Miss Blue? You look so odd just now, she says. Are you all right? Of course, he says, to shrug it off like a man. But actually, yes, truly, really, he's all right. He's not dead. Wasn't he just dead? About to be dead? To the True Blue has this radio show she listens to every Friday night and talks about constantly, called Who is the Villain? A trite piece of schlock where the detective, one of those fakey radio detectives with nothing but brawn and clever quips, solves a different overblown case each week. The narrator is always saying ridiculous stuff like, the dame has the kind of eyes that make you want to melt like honey on a hot biscuit. And the victim's always coming to in a hospital bed asking, Where am I? Where am I? Won the gun tries to know where he is so that he doesn't have to ask this. He is not in the basement. He's in a room full of light. Blank white walls and a couple of windows. The open blinds shred the sunshine and leave it in stripes on the floor. A couch and chair, a beat-up old filing cabinet in the corner, bookcase, and desk. He's in his office. Won the gun shakes his head. I got a little dizzy all of a sudden. I'm fine. He needs to sit down. I think I'll just sit down. Won the gun sits down. He takes the couch where clients generally sit when they come to him to solve their very ordinary and unradio-like cases like, is my wife cheating on me? Or is my clerk siphoning $20 a week from the company till? Sometimes he gets more interesting assignments, yes, sometimes even a murder. Won the gun is on a murder case right now. No, not his own murder. That's a different case altogether. In fact, it's not a case at all. In fact, it didn't happen at all. He's pretty sure it didn't happen at all. Sir? To the True Blues, giving him the big blue eyes again. He kicks out a laugh to show her he's fine and not hallucinating his own death in the middle of the day, in the middle of the day. Don't mind me. It's just been, he thinks about it, a long morning. She smiles. Shall I continue? He doesn't know with what. He says, "Of course." She takes a seat opposite him in the chair, looks down at the notepad he didn't notice before in her hand. "Well, the coroner's office confirms that the victim was killed with poison. It's one hard to pronounce, but here goes." She's telling him things he already knows, things she reported on yesterday, but he doesn't care. He settles back on the couch, happy to be here and not wherever he probably wasn't before. Police say the specific poison was also found in the storeroom in a form of rat poison. I have a box of it for you on the desk. The storeroom was unlocked at the time, but this poison is also not uncommon and could have been brought in by someone from the outside. She shifts and crosses her legs under her pale peach cotton skirt. To the true blue has a heart-face shape and the kind of beautiful innocence that would make any altar boy give up his ticket to heaven just to steal her lollipop. It's not just her innocence that's beautiful either. She's all over beautiful. Just look at her there, smiling that smile that melts you like honey on a hot biscuit. The poison usually takes about 20 minutes to activate in the body. Once it went to work on the victim, it would have been quick, she says. A few shocking moments of agony followed by violent convulsions, followed by unconsciousness, and finally death. He can tell she's enjoying this, delivering the fiendish details of this murder case. Maybe that's why she's going on about things she already told him yesterday. It probably makes her feel like the sidekick in that radio show she laps up every Friday night, like honey on a hot biscuit. One the gun wonders if he ate breakfast this morning. He remembers nothing of the morning. Did he have some sort of stroke? Temporary insanity? Did he go out last night and get tight and pass out, and was the whole death thing nothing but a booze dream? He stands and starts pacing. His shoes hitting the worn floor says this isn't a dream. So does this very real office, dinky as a broom closet in a flea-bag motel. The only space enough for one desk, which he and Miss Blue have to share. It's barely enough room for adequate pacing, but he can't sit still. To the true blue glances from her notes, eyebrows up, but Gunn's eyebrows and smile indicate that he would simply like to pace a bit while listening to her very interesting reporting, and could she please continue. I've made appointments for you to talk to the witnesses and suspects, she says, little punch of relish in her voice as she says suspects. The doorman of the place, the bartender, that priest. I haven't reached out to the widow yet because I thought you might want to play a little more casual with her. Good choice, he says. To the true blue always makes good choices. She's the best assistant a third-rate gumshoe could have. She comes into the office every day at 8 when he's still at home sleeping, types up any notes he's recited into the dictation machine the night before, notes that generally come with instructions for her and research to do, which she does. And by the time he arrives at the office, usually around noon, she has all the information he needs, all his notes prepared, and his appointments made for the day. She's indispensable. Not to mention pretty as a stuffed pigeon on a fancy hat. Sophisticated, like. She stands and crosses to his desk in the corner. I've jotted your appointments on the calendar. Want to have a look? He joins her, standing over the desk looking down. Her finger with the clean file nail points at the notation on the page. 1 o'clock time slot. Meet with doorman at cafe. I hope this works, she said. He's on duty at the dive-in starting at 3, and I wanted to give you a chance to really talk. He's an important witness. He was the one who discovered the body. It's deja vu. That's all it is. He really didn't experience the whole conversation yesterday. He's just feeling like he did. Maybe this deja vu moment is an after effect of the weird nightmare he had last night. The office, the power going out, him in the basement with the flashlight, the gunshot. Of course, he says. That sounds perfect. The words come out of his mouth feeling like he already said them. Good. Then you'll want to go over to the church, she says. The victim will be there in an open casket if you want to view him, and I've made an appointment for you to speak with the priest at 2:30. He was one of the last remaining patrons that night in the dive-in. Later this evening, you can go over to the dive where you can speak to the bartender, who is also on the scene at the time. She's standing, so close her shoulder brushes his. She smells like jasmine. Miss Blue? Sir, she asks. You ever get the feeling you're having déjà vu? Every once in a while, she says. Oh, don't forget to break for dinner. You know how you get on a task. Now, this poison. She turns to the bookcase beside the desk. With one hand on the shelf, she rises on tiptoe, lifting off one foot, using the ball of the other to raise herself even further and reach for the thick volume of The Complete Illustrated Pharmacopoeia on the high shelf. Sliding the book out and grabbing a hold of it, she drops back onto both feet and teeters. Not truly like she's going to fall, but when the gun, right behind her, catches her in a way that makes her tip back into his arms. Just for a moment, she's in his arms. Then the office door opens and a man walks in. He's annoyingly dashing with gray tailored coat, Homburg, and neatly trimmed whiskers. 3, the goatee. Sweetie! 2, the true blue steps out of one the gun's grip, passing him the book. It's heavy in his hand. We can continue to talk about poisons later, she tells him, then turns back to her bow. Lunch? 3, the goatee, is shooting a suspicious single eyebrow and carefully groomed around his whiskers at 1, the gun. Watching the two of them is like watching a movie Gun has already seen. Oh, now, Miss Blue waves the incident away with the back of her hand. I slipped pulling down the book. He caught me from falling. And then again, lunch? A hug, a peck on the mouth. 3, the goatee's shoulders relax and he smiles. Lunch. As 2, the true blue turns to snag a light jacket and pocketbook from the hook on the wall by the door, 3, the goatee angles his eyes back to 1, the gun. He snaps a courteous, if chilly, nod of recognition. Gun. A short, formal nod back. Professor. Then 2, the true blue beams warmth on both of them. Sir, I'll be back in the office within an hour. Give a call with whatever you need. And the couple is off, leaving 1, the gun, alone at the start of a very strange day. It's a short walk down to the square, to the cafe where he meets his first witness on the case. And again, it's like he experienced this all before. This booth, that zigzag rip in the red and white checkered tablecloth, the bustle of the place, clatter and chatter. But even that chatter feels familiar, like he already heard it. And this witness, 6.5 feet tall if he's a day, a moose of a man who's built more like a bouncer than a doorman. 4, the door. Even sitting down, he's a towering hulk, all chest and shoulders. But something in his face, some puppy dog slant in the way he looks at you, makes it seem like he doesn't notice at all his advantage. He's sipping from a glass of milk and picking at a plate of chicken. 1, the gun, works on a hamburger and a cup of coffee. Something in him thinks if he acts normal, all of this very not normal will go away. I don't get it, the moose is saying. I told the cops all this stuff. Why do I gotta tell you too? I'd like to get it in your own voice. 4, the door rolls his half-full glass of milk between his palms like he's molding a flower pot out of clay. Well, how you want me to start? How about with your relationship to the victim? He was your boss. Best boss I ever had. Best job. Never was a doorman before. You know, folks call it the dive, but it's the dive in. He taps the table to punctuate those 2 syllables. Dive in. It's not a dive. It's a classy joint. 1, the gun, has been to the classy joint. It's a dive. How long have you worked there? He asks. The moose thinks about it. 5 years? Maybe 8. And you're basically a bouncer? The doorman's shoulders rise up around his ears, offended. Doorman, I told you, the doorman. Sorry, doorman. 4, the door talks double time, like a buffalo who grew up in a house of hyenas, and his mouth is full of more slang than teeth. Listen, I didn't take this gig 'cause it's a soft buck, all right? I mean something, like an ambassador, in a uniform with buttons. Make things ritzy-like, Yeah, sure, if some lout starts to get in on some beef and the boss gives me the eyes, I take care of it. I take care of it, but good. But that's all part of being a doorman. Get me? And you were on duty the night your boss was killed, one asked. Well, yeah, 3 to close. All the regulars was there, the banker and his wife, them wino office jockeys, the lonely hearts, that preacher that's always scurrying around. The boss's wife was there, all the regular boys in the back room who always... A pause. His eyes bounce around. He slurps his milk. It's okay, when the gun says, I know there's gambling that goes on. No, dive's a legit joint, square deal, classy. No one's tossing jacks. Listen, when the gun says, if I'm going to get the information I need, I've got to believe you're telling me the truth. No, I've been to the dive. I know what goes on in the back room. I'm not worried about it. Dive in, the moose corrects. In, yes. For the door makes flower pots of his milk again, looking down in the sloshing white. I'm a good doorman. In a uniform with buttons. Classy. When the gun leans forward. You know what? No matter what goes on in that back room, whether you're a boss running an upscale supper club or some roast-infested crumb hole, that doesn't make a difference in how good you are at your job. A grin spreads across Moose's face like what? Gun can't think of a metaphor. A waitress with doe eyes and big teeth steps up to their table and asks if they need anything. And when the gun orders a hot biscuit and some honey. You sure eat a lot, the moose says. At times, it's as if this day is carrying one the gun along rather than one the gun moving through it. And there he'll be, letting one moment lead into the next, and to the next like he's half watching, half participating in a movie of his own life. But then something will pull him out of the spell and he'll feel again that all of this has happened before. So you're at the door all night, one the gun asks. Yeah, unless I take a break. When was the last time you saw your boss alive? About closing time, the moose says. He tags by me at the door like always, says he's closing up. I ask who's still in, and he says just wife and the preacher. I don't get why the preacher's gotta always be around so late. Don't he have to get up early and say his catechisms? What was his mood? One the gun asks, when you saw him last. Like a pussycat in a parakeet cage, For the door says, matter of fact. One the gun doesn't know if this means happy, lots of parakeets to eat, or sad, not a lot of space for a parakeet cage in a parakeet cage for a cat. He waits for more. Not sick, if that's what you mean, For the door says, not like he's ready to pitch the big snooze. Didn't True the Blue say this particular poison started working on a victim within 20 minutes of ingestion? Yes, and she also said it yesterday. He asked the guy, do you ever get the feeling you're having deja vu? Nuh-uh, Moose says. But anyway, then the boss goes off to count the take, like always. I stick and let out the last of them, then I lock up, go to the bar, fix myself a short one. I'm sagged. I mean, my egg is fried. You try standing all night on these cat sticks. One the gun doesn't know from cat sticks. For the door says, you getting all this, Seamus? Well, it's just a little hard to... Listen, the moose says, if you just took the hedgehogs out of your head holes, you could quit tossing horseshoes with your dear old auntie's flapjacks. One the gun says. So then what happened? Well, I wait for the boss. I always pitch him a good night last of all. He doesn't come out. Finally, I go to the office door, knock, nothing. Open the door, and there he is. The moose's smile is gone. He stares into his milk. Best boss I ever had. One the gun gives him a moment, breaks off a piece of biscuit and chews. Then, the last folks in the place, in what order did they leave? For the door thinks. Well, our bartender, he left first, not long after I gabbed with the boss. Then pretty soon the preacher makes with the wings. The widow was the last to leave, One the gun asks. Don't say that with that look on your face. What look? You guys always want to make out like someone's a murderer. She's not a murderer. One the gun thinks the moose doth protest too much. Did I say anyone was a murderer? You're a shamus, yeah? Why you scratching around as if you're not snooping for a plugger? Well, I've been employed by the insurance company to look into the murder. Yeah, I know. Well, she didn't do it. That I can tell you. The most likely suspect actually is not the last person to leave. A smart killer would do the deed and get gone, let those behind take the rap. The most likely suspect, if one the gun is thinking off the top of his head, is the bartender. He pours the drinks. He could at least easily drop some poison into the glass and no one's the wiser. The preacher, for the door says. If anyone dusted anyone, it's the preacher. All right, that is your excerpt from Chapter 1, as well as the prologue for Who Killed Won the Gun by Gigi Little. So here's my review. As you heard, Who Killed Won the Gun is a cozy noir. Third-rate PI Won the Gun is 1 minute from dead. Just as he realizes his time is up, he wakes up back in his head. To the True Blue is by his side, but the question remains, who made one die? Now as the day runs on repeat, one must find his killer or die in defeat. Bottom line, Who Killed Won the Gun is for you if you like your noir more witty than gritty. Alright, so as with all great noir, language is the star of this show. And you got to hear a really good example of the cadence and the word choice that really, at least for me, let me paint a picture that I could hear as I was tagging along with Won the Gun in the investigation that led up to his murder. Because of the lyrical language, Who Killed Won the Gun is a fast and entertaining read. Standing out are the colorful metaphors, you heard a few of them, some of which make absolutely no sense, and yet you know exactly what they mean. I mean, really, pull the hedgehogs. How did he put it? Pull the hedgehogs out of your head? I gotta find that because that was a good one. Yeah. If you just took the hedgehogs out of your head holes, you could quit tossing horseshoes with your dear old auntie's flapjacks. Exactly, right? Part of the fanciful language are the names. 1 the gun, 2 the true blue, 5 the no longer alive, 6 the kicks, 10 the when. Each tag is a peek into who the characters are, but those tags can change as the characters reinvent themselves. As someone who often has trouble keeping character names straight, I love Gigi Little's naming convention, as I always knew who was doing what. The case Won the Gun is working on is the death of 5 the no longer alive. A minor heavy, he runs the dive-in, a former seafood restaurant turned bar with an off-the-books card game in the back. His suspects, as you heard, are his wife, 6 the kicks, the preacher with a gambling habit, 7 the heaven, the former restaurant owner turned bartender, 8 the first mate, and the doorman, aka bouncer, 4 the door. Somewhere in the conversations with each of these suspects, Won the Gun thinks he must have heard something that led to someone shooting and killing him in the basement of his office building. If he could only figure out what that, quote, something was, maybe he could survive and break the loop. Won the Gun, as our detective, is a flawed hero who we watch struggling with the loop he finds himself in, as I'm sure we all would struggle. His help includes 2 the true blue, the secretary he relies on and who he has fallen for, and 10 the when. The only other person in the loop, 10, is the waitress at the diner, and she will also die when the loop ends, but she's determined to make her life useful, even if only for that one day. The logic of the 5 no longer alive case is reasonable. I was left with a few questions, but they're not central to the story. The ending went in a direction I absolutely didn't expect. I appreciated that Little did not take the predictable road out, and suspect readers will have varied opinions. My own opinion? The ending wrapped up the loose strings, but it didn't quite seem fair to one. I felt for the guy. I have thought about the ending often since I finished the book, and that says in itself a lot about sort of the power of the ending. Who Killed Won the Gun was released from Forest Avenue Press and is promoted by Partners in Crime Tours. It is available from Amazon and other online book retailers. So let's learn a little bit about our author, Gigi Little. She is a freelance book designer and a longtime bookseller. She is the editor of the popular anthology City of Weird and the art director of the picture book A Tree of My Own. Her writing can be found in journals and anthologies, including Portland Noir, Spent, Dispatches from, I'm going to butcher this word, Anares, Anarres, and The Magic We Miss. She lives in Portland, Oregon with her husband, fine artist Stephen O'Donnell. You can find her on the web at gigilittle.com. Wondering what to read when you finish Who Killed Won the Gun? Partners in Crime Tours is your ultimate destination for all things mystery, crime, thriller, and cozy. Since 2011, they've been working to fill bookshelves with gripping and heart-pounding reads. Discover new mysteries and connect with other fans with Partners in Crime. Look up Partners in Crime Tour on the web or your favorite social media. And authors, whether you're looking to promote your latest thriller, discover a new mystery series, or connect with fellow fans of a genre, PICT has you covered. Check out their promotion options that come with the personal attention of a dedicated coordinator. Join us next week for Mysteries to Die For. We are in Season 9, where it is all about the means of murder with stuff that can kill you, or sticky. K.M. Rockwood is back in the Mysteries to Die For morgue with Occupational Hazard, where motion is the sticky means of murder. All right, Jack, take us out.